Well, hello everyone. This is Marianne here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. I do have a grin on my face, and the reason for that is that Trump, the former president of the US, is indicted. The New York grand jury decided to indict him. That decision was released today. Now, it's interesting because just before Christmas, I did a reading on indictments in 2023. I felt they would come down in March. Whenever I draw those timeline cards, they can sometimes pinpoint timing. But in my last reading on Bragg, which was on Monday, I said that indictments would come this week and in 3 days' time. So I think I might have just made the 3-day timeline. But I went out on a limb and I trusted myself to get the timing right. So this is sweet on so many levels. It's sweet because Alvin Bragg, the much maligned Alvin Bragg, who was so literally shunned and avoided when he dismissed those two prosecutors. He's been the first to indict, and it's interesting. I never really gave up on Alvin Bragg because I saw intuitively I felt he would indict Trump. And the other day I saw an interview that he did with Ari Melber where he said to Ari Melber, no, the investigation is continuing. This would have been a little while ago after those two prosecutors of Cy Vance's were dismissed. And Bragg brought in his own team, including an expert in white-collar crime, which proved to be the right move because he secured a conviction of the Trump org, a criminal conviction on tax fraud. And he actually Bragg said, the investigation is continuing. The Trump org conviction on tax and insurance fraud is just one chapter of a book. Now, I'm feeling this, if it is the hush money and the covering up of that, if that is the only indictment, we don't know. The indictments are under seal. I feel there's a little bit more to it. And I do believe that Bragg will keep going with this because there is news now that Alan Weiselberg, who was Trump's chief financial officer and worked with Trump's father, been with the Trump family for as long as the Trump family were a Trump family, he was sent to Rikers. He took the fall for the tax and business fraud and didn't literally point the finger at Donald Trump being the one who basically told him to do things. He went to Rikers, and his lawyers were paid for by Trump and the Trump org. Well, those lawyers are now dismissed. Weiselberg's dismissed them, and what they're saying is that that's a good sign that he's flipped. Now, you know what this means in Alvin Bragg's book. It means that he's probably going to go after Trump on tax and business fraud, which would carry fairly lengthy sentences, I would assume. These are criminal matters. But first to the indictment. Isn't that just fantastic? We've been waiting for so long. And, I've been weary as well as what my viewers have been. It's been a long, drawn-out battle from seeing someone ascend to the US Oval Office, their highest office in the land, when we knew that this was a person who had done nefarious deeds, who had strong and abiding connections with Russia, who was a serial liar, proven serial liar, and who basically hurt so many good people during his term as president, who was literally the spearhead, I guess, of a divided United States. Now, even if he's taken away, those divisions will still be there, but there'll be less confidence in gaslighting. And you'll see once he's removed from any sort of powerful office, take the MAGA MAGA Republicans dominating the House in Congress. They're going after fake sort of stuff, and they're falling flat on their faces. So removing Trump is a little like cutting the head for the time being, cutting the head off the snake. So this indictment is just, there's no other way to describe it. It's good news. So I've got a few questions. I wasn't going to come on and read today, but I told you that that I would. In fact, I think I said I would go live. Not today. I've actually got an appointment to get to, but that I will go live within the next probably Monday when we see the dominoes start to fall. But I'll let you know. There'll be good notice of when I do go live. But for the moment, let's have a look. Bragg. Whoa, yeah, it's been a huge battle for Alvin Bragg. Some of the stuff that was coming through the comments section, I had to remove. It was terrible accusations that Bragg himself was, some kind of criminal when people thought he wasn't pursuing the investigation. He was just playing chess, as I said at the time. So, yay, at least, for Alvin Bragg. All right, so, and Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, I've always said they've been working together, even though he's county, she's state, she theoretically is the boss. All right, even though she wouldn't have day-to-day jurisdictional stuff, those two investigations have been going along in tandem. All right, so what do we want to know today? Let's see, will Trump be convicted, I guess, is the first question off the rank here. I'm using my Spellcasters Tarot. It's the one that features both black, ethnic, indigenous archetypes and of course white ones as well. So I think that is pretty apt for today. A nice blend of cultures in this deck. Cultures and backgrounds. Family, ancestral lines. All right, let's get started. Bragg, will he secure a conviction? Will Trump be convicted of whatever the indictment is? Will Alvin Bragg convict? Will Alvin Bragg and whatever court, the New York court, will Trump be convicted? So here I get the Three of Cups. Now that was the card that came out on Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday that I did the reading? Anyway, Monday, celebrations. And that's why I took a punt and I said it will be this week, and I think it will be in 3 days. So let's have a look. Will he secure? That's a nice strong yes. Will Bragg secure a conviction? The King of Pentacles is my card for Donald Trump, the businessman. So these are the signifier cards, people. I think Spirit was telling us on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was I read, that, because I get confused with the timelines as well, that Bragg would get a conviction. I think he's going to get a conviction. Now, the Nine of Wands talks about guardrails. I don't know. The images on these cards are just kind of giving me a little bit of mirth here. I'm quite sure I'll attract some trolls who will, say, how dare I laugh at this. But it's more, 5-6 years? How long have we been doing this? Saying that he's going to be indicted. So it's happy days for us. Okay, so the Nine of Wands talks about it's guardrails and it's saying no. And that's the foundation of the reading. One of my viewers contacted me. They've been very kind. They've been sending me emails and saying, yes, you were right. And that's not the point of it, the point of it is he's been indicted. So I'm happy to be right about that. But they've been very kindly sending me emails, and one of them said this morning, this is a threshold that has been crossed. And so there is a higher aspect to this. Who would go first? Who would be the first? This is unprecedented indictment of a former president in the United States. And it is a sign of our times that somebody like Trump, in this age of social media and Russian cyber warfare, could even get elected to become president, especially when people knew about his affairs with porn stars, adult actresses, without trying to, label them as porn stars, but escorts and adult actresses. His affairs, I think one while his wife was pregnant. We know his past, the Access Hollywood tapes. There's always a soften. They always try and soften these things, but in the hard light of day, we know that this person's morals were questionable. Yet he still got elected. There'll be many who will say, "Oh yeah, he was just trying to cover up from hurting Melania," and there will be others that say, "Well, what's so big deal? A hush money because he had an affair." All of those things. However, Bragg has taken this one step further by saying, no, he not only did that, but then he attempted to cover this up, just as his own organisation covered up tax fraud and business fraud. Now, in Bragg's book, remember, one chapter out of an entire book, this then establishes a pattern of altering the books of business fraud. So this is where I think Bragg is going. Now, the Five of Cups in the past is loss and regret. Well, yeah, I regret that people who fall for his lies and fraud and conning can be so stupid. Yes, I said that. Okay, Queen of Swords. When I say stupid, let's say there's a lot for them to learn. Queen of Swords in the sky. Now, there was, as I said, an expert, former prosecutor brought in a woman who was an expert in white-collared crime. There is this Queen of Swords hat in the sky. This is an offence that he will be prosecuted for that involves women. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. You and I know that. That this is the tip of the iceberg where women are concerned with Trump. Now, we have the Ace of Cups here in the immediate future. This is kind of like an emotional purge, but it's also an emotional reset. Will he get a conviction? There's good signs that he and his team will so far. Now, the Moon, there's more to come on this, and I think there's a lot of light bouncing off these cards today. There was one of my readings in the last couple of weeks. It said there's more. Does he have more? There's more to come on this. More abuse of power. God, look at those two cards. Okay, so let's have a look in the hopes and fears. Page of Cups, bombshells. I'm firmly convinced that there's probably a deeper aspect, or there's more in this indictment which remains under seal. Certainly there's more to come in Bragg's investigations. Now, I like this, the new start. So, yes, he will secure a conviction. Seven of Cups, something is still clouded from our view. And we've got the Queen of Wands here. A lot of queens here, a lot of women. This is a victory for women. Page of Wands. So that looks like, well, this is young people also having to defend himself. And then we get the Empress card, which is the connection to Russia. Remember, as I said, Bragg has had Trump's books and tax returns. Now, there is also Deutsche Bank, and there is, I think, it was either Cy Vance or Alvin Bragg, was talking to the former employee of Deutsche Bank who handled the Trump business. There's more than one woman here, so I'm just going to say he'll secure that conviction. That's pretty evident. But I do also feel there is more to come. As Alvin Bragg said, this is now Letitia James as well. So yes, this will be a conviction, and there is more to come for Trump in New York. Now remember, this is where Trump supposedly made his money. He is a New Yorker by birth and upbringing, and it's interesting that New York, who who should have handled him throughout the decades, didn't. But now it's a full circle, and it's not lost on me that a black American in Alvin Bragg is the first to convict. Now this is obviously going to incite some ugly racism, as well as the MAGAs protesting, and hopefully there won't be the violence there. I have read on that if you want to go back and check that reading. I did get a pull to having to watch a maybe shoulder length, I think it's brown hair, man, but let's see. I'm informed by many New Yorkers that New York PD and they're tough, and protesters just won't get out of control in New York like they may do in other places, because there's a long history with New York, and I guess making sure protests are peaceful. All right, so let's go to Weiselberg, the next piece in the puzzle. I thought when they said the grand jury was going to be delayed in their decision, I think that was probably a deliberate ruse to stop Trump going on the airwaves just before the indictment. So let's have a look. Alan Weiselberg, he's number 2 in the Trump organization. I think he's the chief financial controller, CFO, is he, or the executive officer? Anyway, Trump's lieutenant there, effectively runs the Trump organization, sitting in Rikers. If there were more charges to come, it's said that Weiselberg has flipped because he doesn't want to do more time in Rikers. So 7 of Swords, there's a lie there. There's a lie. Okay. Let's take a look. Weiselberg lying for Trump? How could that happen? All right. Alan Weiselberg. Forgive my levity today. I am extremely happy that Trump is... that the dominoes, I believe, are starting to fall. All right, so Weiselberg, has he flipped? Has Alan Weiselberg... A ship. I'm seeing a ship. Why on earth would I see a ship? A big ship. Has Weiselberg flipped on Trump? All right, just park that image there. It might become clear why I saw a big ship, liner type cargo ship. I don't know. King of Cups, has he flipped? All right, that's wisdom, emotional wisdom. And the Ace of Swords, becoming pretty clear. The Ace of Swords is the truth. They're yes cards as well. The 9 of Pentacles in the Foundation here. Another yes card. If I were to lay all these straight, the 9 of Pentacles is about having everything you need and independence. Well, he hasn't quite got that in Rikers, has he? The Queen of Pentacles in the past. Now, his daughter-in-law is running around saying that the Bragg investigation is going to, really shock and surprise people. There's a woman here, a woman involved. So if Trump has tried to cover this, allegedly covered up this campaign finance violation, covered it up in his books, and then Alan Weiselberg would then be culpable as the chief financial officer. Loans and debts, has he flipped? Okay, so 8 of Swords, He's restricted. He's in prison. Not a nice image. I understand from New Yorkers, Rikers is a hard place to be. It's not one of those, minimum security prisons. It's pretty damned horrible. Now, we get decision making. He's making his decisions, and we've got left out in the cold. He feels abandoned. He feels like he's taking, this is now we're getting to it. He feels like he's taken the fall for somebody, and there's something gone wrong here between Weiselberg and Trump. Did he not pay the fees of the lawyers? He's gotten Weiselberg offside. Now we have moderation in the hopes and fears and balance coming through. King of Swords, has he flipped? That's the prosecutor. It's also a strong yes card. He was holding back information, and this is around the money as well. But now we have the Three of Pentacles working in teams here. Let's, the Knight of Swords, when the Knight of Swords shows up, it always says to me the truth is emerging. Now we've got the past here, and we have the lie. So he lied in the past for Trump. He's isolated, and we have here a new start, an offer, because he has a lot of regret. Here. There's something going on between Weiselberg and Trump. There's a division there. And we get the Page of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Could be something around his children as well. Whether Trump just, said he wasn't going to pay for the children's defences. There's been some issue here, along with the fact that he's sitting in Rikers. I'm going to say I think Weiselberg has flipped. All right, now the next thing is that Trump has I said that Pence would have to testify. Yes, the appeal court judge said yes, he did. Pence did have to testify. Now, also, all of Trump's closest aides, Trump's trying to fight the Meadows one, but it won't make any difference. Jack Smith, obviously, Special Counsel Jack Smith knows his stuff, and he's just winning every battle. Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. Page of Pentacles. I always think of younger people here. There could be a younger person in relation to Smith's investigations that has spilt the beans. All right, his lawyers, Evan Corcoran, they have to testify against him. So my question is, are Jack Smith's? It will. Okay, let's pull three cards for the next. Oh, an inevitability. Let's pull three cards for the next 3 months. Will Jack Smith indict within the next 3 months? Show me 3 months. When will Jack Smith indict? Will it be within the next 3 months? 3 cards, please, Spirit. All right, so we got the Page of Cups. This could come any day. That often talks about a surprise coming out of the blue. The Wheel of Fortune. So we've got March, April. Not much left of March. March, April, and May. So I guess it was the way I phrased it. I feel that. Let's see. Show me which month. So there's not much left of March. I think what's the date today? I don't know. Okay, so will it be in March? Okay, so we've got the Page of Swords. No, they're still hearing evidence. Will it be in April? Whoa! Possibly. And my pull is to the documents, but this is also January the 6th. I don't think they're ready yet with January the 6th, but this is Tower card and the Eight of Pentacles, yeah. So I'm feeling April, we could see an indictment in April. My draw is on the documents charges. Show me the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, again, April, May. I'm just going to say April, May. You could see, there's my Three of Cups. We're all celebrating. I think April, May. I'm just going to say April, May for Jack Smith. And my draw is to the classified documents case. All right, by the end of this, there's only one more question I've got, and then I've got to go on my appointment. By the end of all these indictments, we've got Georgia. Yes, I know that Georgia's moved. Georgia legislature has moved to give them powers to remove prosecutors. They would do so at their peril to remove Funny Willis, the Atlanta prosecutor, after a grand jury has recommended charges be laid. So let's have a look at at the end of all this. At the end of all these indictments, will Trump... Where's that light coming from? At the end of all these... A lot of light around today. Wow. I don't know. It's probably reflecting off the light, I think. At the end of all these indictments, will Trump be the Republican candidate for 2024? At the end of all these indictments, will Trump be the Republican candidate in 2024? At the end of all these indictments, will Trump be the candidate for the GOP in 2024? Interesting images. It's like he's like being suspended, and he's kind of it's like he's evaporating. All right. 3 of Pentacles, teamwork, working with others. It's also, no. 8 of Cups, no, loss, walking away from what no longer serves you or them. Knight of Pentacles, sustainable, reliable. Page of Cups, something coming from out of the blue, that's in the past. The Death card, the End, that's in the sky. The Emperor, control in the immediate future. They'll stick with him for a little while longer. But ultimately, no. Look at that. Look at that. They'll let the Lord do their dirty work. 8 of Pentacles. They're working on it. 6 of Swords, no. They want to move on in the hopes and fears. They want to move on. No movement. Sorry. No, he won't be the candidate. They want to move away from the past, because they know that they can't win an election. They will likely stab him in the back when they know he can't do anything to them. And we get the Death card, which is crowning this reading. 7 of Swords, they're as bad as what he is. They will abandon him for a more moderate candidate. Otherwise, look at these cards. Otherwise, they're on a hiding to nowhere. Now, I'm not saying Republicans will win in 2024 with another candidate. Ron DeSantis gets very, very bad cards, but I think at the end of the day they're going to choose a more moderate candidate as a way forward. But anyway, that's for another reading. I just want to, before I go, draw an oracle message. I've got a couple of new decks. I'll talk about them later. The Dream Weaver's Oracle, which is Colette Baron Reid's new one. What have we learned? What have we learned from Trump, aside from patience and the need to speak out and be active, to advocate, to stand up? What have we learned from Trump? And the truth about our systems as well. If the wild ones come with sticks. Interesting. If the wild ones come with sticks. Violence, his incitement, the gaslighting, has incited violence and could still incite violence, instability and violence. Weavers know that all is God. We've all had to step up, haven't we, in some way, and we get when Coyote calls your name. So thanks for your patience. All the threads of fate must bend. Thank you for your patience while we have awaited an indictment coming. It's here. Go away, celebrate. Bye for now.